Okay. All right, welcome back. It is 8:36, sorry, we're a minute late. So, Mr. Perry, with regards to your question and potential request or motion, based on the feedback from the Budget Committee and other members of the community, we have gone off and received town council. It hasn't been shared with the rest of the board yet, and I think we need some time to look at it and internalize it. I think at this point, it's probably best to table it for our next meeting, when we all have time to read the opinions. It will be confidential, it is client attorney privilege, unless the board decides something after the fact, if that makes sense.
So then the answer to my question is yes.
Yes, we have asked the questions and we're trying to get clarification. Yes.
I look forward to seeing it.
And Jason, seeing that, like I said, drop that in there so people can start internalizing it. Okay?
At this point, we're just gonna table.
We're gonna table that, so we all have time to look at it. The questions were expansive. There was quite a few different questions relating to the subject, so hopefully we covered all bases. With regards to my second part of the update, the Budget Committee did ask. We did talk about the Budget Committee. A lot of things around the roles and responsibilities happened. And at one point, we talked about potentially holding a workshop with the Selectmen and Budget Committee and have town council come in and help us understand what the roles and responsibilities are between these two bodies. They objected to town council being the presenter, I guess. But that being said, I did ask for town council opinion. And we probably should share that.
I think that's already on.
Yeah,
Didn't you say, Jason, you listed that?
Yeah, I posted that. That came in.
Yep. So from town council, based on the question, I'll read how we posed the question and what the response was, as soon as I can get it back up here.
Mr. Chairman, I guess I'd make a motion that the Board of Selectmen hereby release that town council opinion to the chairman of the Budget Committee.
I'll second.
Yep. A motion made by Mr. Byron to release the council opinion to the Budget Committee Chair, seconded by Mr. Bork.
And that's council opinion to clarify for the roles and responsibilities of the Budget Committee and Board of Selectmen.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 4-0-0. So, the question was posed as this. Let's see. All right, can you clarify the legal responsibility of the Budget Committee relative to the current year budget after town meeting? The Budget Committee's role, the response was this. The Budget Committee's role after town meeting is fairly limited. RSA 32:22 provides the following. Upon request by the Budget Committee, the administrative officials shall forthwith submit to the Budget Committee a comparative statement of all appropriations and all expenditures by them made in such detail as the Budget Committee may require. The Budget Committee shall meet periodically to review such statements. The provision of this section shall not be construed to mean the Budget Committee or any member of that committee shall have the authority to dispute or challenge this discretion of other officials over current town or district expenditures, except as provided in RSA 32:23. She further went on and said, RSA 32:23 says, upon receipt of the reports provided by RSA 32:22, the Budget Committee shall examine the same promptly, and if shall, and I hate legal mumbo, and if shall be found that the governing body or town manager have failed to comply with the provisions of this chapter concerning expenditures, a majority of the committee, at the expense of the municipality, may petition the Superior Court for the removal as provided in RSA 32:12. She explains, essentially, these statutes, when taken together, allow the Budget Committee to review the expenditures to ensure that the bottom line budget is not being overspent. They do not give the Budget Committee the authority to challenge expenditures or transfers that do not exceed the bottom line or violate some other provision in the law, such as no means no. And then she phrases, please let me know if there's any additional assistance. So, just for clarity, I actually read these two RSAs in the meeting, the budget committee, and it was still disputed. So, our attorney's, clarification, maybe puts the words around what it actually means and interprets it, but I did read it this way, and they, they don't seem to agree, So, I guess I can just bundle this up and send it over to the chair. Does anybody have any discussion or any other comments about it?
I think it's pretty self-explanatory that some of the issues that are currently being raised are outside the scope and responsibilities of the Budget Committee, and Town Council has clearly spelled those out. I do know and do understand from what I've read in the minutes of the meeting of the Budget Committee that they disagree with the use of Town Council to provide an opinion, but those, as we have said time and time again, those are the people who will represent the town in court if we go to court, and those are the people whose opinion we take.
Agreed.
I agree, yeah.
Okay, so like I said, I'll bundle this in its entirety, and I'll share the question that was asked and then the answer. And then we'll see where it goes from there. And that was it for my budget committee update. Like I said, the advice we have that we have to review for next meeting. When is our next meeting, by the way? And did it change?
No, it's back on the normal
It
schedule,
goes back
the
to the normal schedule
20,
after today. You mean the Board of Selectmen meeting?
Yeah, so it's
after today.
so the 23rd?
yes.
Okay, good, no conflict, great.
Yep.
All right, awesome. All right, that was it for my selectmen's update. Anybody else?
Okay.
All right, hearing no more, items moved from consent, there were none. Moving to other business, Mr. Byron asked for legal counsel opinions to be put on other business?
Yeah, it's many years ago, or several years ago, I'll say, the Board of Selectmen made a decision that individual members of the board should not be contacting town council because there were significant bills being run up and other issues. On top of it, there was also information that was only partway given to the council, and misinformed decisions by council without all the facts were being generated and that type of thing. So what ended up happening at that time was that we limited the ability of board members to communicate with council, and all the communications would go through the chairman. My personal opinion is I think that makes sense for all the boards in town. So with that said, I'll make the following motion: that the Board of Selectmen hereby directs the New Hampshire Municipal Association and Town Council that they are to only provide legal opinions and advice to any member of the Board of Selectmen, the town administrator, selected town officials, and only the chairs of the following town committees or boards: Planning Board, Zoning Board, Budget Committee, Conservation Commission, Recreation Commission, Mosquito Control, Police Department, Fire Department, a Building Inspector, Code Enforcement Officer. Further, that any legal opinions issued by town council and/or the New Hampshire Municipal Association will be copied to the chairman of the Board of Selectmen and/or the town administrator. The chairman of the Board of Selectmen or his or her designee shall inform the New Hampshire Municipal Association and Town Council, as well as the chairman of the boards and committees contained in this motion, of these requirements, and shall immediately and annually thereafter provide a list of the names of the chairs of the boards, committees, and department heads qualified to receive legal opinions, I'm sorry.
That's a motion.
That's a motion, do you have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Bork. Discussion?
So that would basically put everybody on the same footing. It does not interfere with anybody's ability to get a legal opinion, they just need to go through the chair. So if any of these commissions or boards or whatever want to get a legal opinion, they can go through their chair to get that. And it does, though, change that any member of the Board of Selectmen can go and approach those. Now, I will now offer an amendment, mostly, and I'm offering this as a discussion, that individual members of the Board of Selectmen shall refer all legal questions or inquiries to New Hampshire Municipal and/or the Town Council through the Chairman of the Board of Selectmen or the Town Administrator. So that's an amendment that I'm officially making.
Do I have a second for the amendment?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Perry. Discussion?
So that puts the Board of Selectmen into the same, I'll call it bucket category as any other commission or board. I think it makes sense. I don't personally have a problem if I need to get a question answered going through the chair or whatever the case may be, that's fine. I think that it also gives the chair, who should be the most knowledgeable about all of the events that are happening within the town, or what's going on particular issues, or maybe even related issues, the ability to add to the request for information or to subtract from the request for information so that we get the best legal advice we can get. And I think it also makes sense because legal opinions shouldn't be given to just one individual, they should be given to the board in general, so that what happens is the board is fully educated and aware of what it's all about. However the board wants to do this, I'm fine with it. I just thought that it makes sense to consider this.
Further discussion on the amendment? Hearing none. All those in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 4-0-0. And then on, back to the amended main motion. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 4-0-0. Okay. Anything else on that topic? Awesome. Great. Next one, road agent appointment. I believe that's from Mr. Perry.
I was actually gonna wait until the next meeting, going by the time. I,
Sorry, you weren't here.
The bag is out now.
the question that I wanted to raise is where are we going with this? When are we gonna start this? And how are we gonna proceed with it?
I think what ends up happening, if I'm not mistaken, under state law, don't we only appoint at the end of March?
The road agent serves through town meeting, so, after your trigger point is after town meeting. So, like when we made the transition with the treasurer, for instance, we, there was another year of service, and then after town meeting, the board made the appointment.
Okay, even if we're gonna make an appointment, we still need to,
Qualifications.
draw up a job description, maybe a contract, or something of the sort. And that's more what I mean by is which way are we gonna go with this?
Sure.
So I was thinking of it, and I said, it'd be better to start something too early.
Right,
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, I guess I agree. I mean, if it makes sense to go ahead and pull what a job description would look like for the road agent. The other question, the question I have though is, and this is what still confuses me. The move from elected to appointed is the role of the road agent, which is very well defined, which is defined in RSA, isn't it? So it's a very small task of what our current road agent does in lieu of his foreman road job. So it should be simple enough to go ahead and pull the job description together. That's my point being. Shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, I mean, for the very narrow, this is the legal construction of road agent. Yes.
Right, we didn't post a warrant that said road agent plus
Plus
foreman.
working foreman or.
Right, or manager, department head, whatever.
The multiple hats that are worn. I mean,
Correct.
purely road agent is very minimal state law.
So I agree with you. It probably makes sense to start putting it together and get it in front of us sooner than later. And if we're, I mean, I'll say it, because, my intent is to push forward Jack in that position anyway, but I don't know if this triggers anything else, right? Does this trigger going outside? I don't think it needs to. We have a person that's been doing the job for a very long time. He's been elected many times. I mean, there's no sign that it would make sense, but do anything different. Assuming he's willing and able still to do it. mean, he will be 75 this year.
I just think
He's
it's
in
our
better shape than I am.
I just think it's our obligation to make sure that we have all our ducks in a row, and when it comes time, whether it's an appointment or anything else, that we're ready to do it, and we're not scrambling at the end.
So Jason, does it make sense to ask you to go ahead, maybe even with Jack's help? Well, if it's the RSA, it's pretty well clear.
If you only want the road agent, remembering that you have, the current person has the narrow legal road agent
Uh-huh.
plus a ton of other sort of working foreman stuff.
He's a town employee at that point,
Right,
running those roads,
but the
he just
narrow
goes
road
around.
agent piece is pretty well spelled out under state law, so I can clean that up and write something up for that.
Yeah, I guess the question would be is can we have it before our September meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense? I mean, gives plenty of time.
Just
I'm in
get
no
ball
rush
rolling.
for it.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to make
I
sure
just-
that it wasn't being forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, in a way, it wasn't forgotten. It was on that punch list, but it was like to the point where it wasn't until March of next year, and we had plenty of time. But you're right. If we get in the budget, it's going to take another plot
Get it done,
someplace
yeah.
else. So, Jason, can we just
Sure, that's fine.
let's target September to have it because I'm sure we'll have dialogue with it, and that will approve that position, and then we can name the position in March or whenever it's appropriate to do that. So, September. Okay, is that it on that topic? All right. Any other topics for tonight? Hearing none, I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 400. Our next meeting will be June 23rd, 6 o'clock here at Town Hall. Everybody have a great rest of the week and hopefully the weather keeps on getting warmer. Good night.